is Monmouth Police Chief Joe Switzer. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are things at the Monmouth Police Department?
We're busy.
Okay,
Yes.
That's not what we'd like to hear.
No, but that's pretty much the way it is every day.
Yeah.
So,
What's going on?
well, I brought my stats from my report from the last council meeting.
Sounds good.
Or for August, anyway. In the month of August, we made 53 criminal arrests. We had 63 ordinance violations we issued. The Monmouth Police Department handled 1,457 calls. The dispatch center processed 2,801 calls. We handled 20 accidents, and the officers worked 36 grant hours. In those arrests, the criminal arrests, and I started last month in including kind of what a picture snapshot of what those arrests were. That's domestic battery, interfering with domestic violence reporting, criminal damage to property, driving while revoked, suspended, aggravated battery, possession of methamphetamine warrants, retail thefts, protection order violations, possession of controlled substance, visitation, interference, and resisting, obstructing peace officers. So there's kind of a snapshot of the types of calls that we're making arrests on. And the ordinance violations, speeding, various parking violations, possession of drug paraphernalia, transportation of alcohol, improper backing, and a lot of the accident-related offenses, failure to reduce speed to avoid an accident, cell phone violations, possession of cannabis, and fighting in public. So that's a snapshot of what we handle on a monthly basis.
Okay, and that was in the month of August.
Mm-hmm.
Any change to that as the implementation of the Safety Act that began a week ago?
Well, most of those criminal arrests, as far as the ordinance violations, the Public Safety Act doesn't affect the ordinance violations. It's the other the state arrests and tickets that we would issue, and most of those offenses that I listed for the arrest would be covered under the Safety Act and the no cash bail stuff.
Okay, meaning you would have those arrests no matter what.
Well, we'd have them, but a lot of those offenses you're just going to get a notice to appear. There's no bail going to be required, and you'll be asked to appear in court at a later date.
Okay. Thank you for the update on these statistics. And also, you're hiring at the Monmouth Police Department, and we have testing at some point. Is that correct?
Yes, we're conducting testing on October 14th. We do have all the information on our Facebook page, city website, and if you're interested and would like to fill an application out, please do so. You can get those at the police department or on the City of Monmouth website, and please have those turned in by October 6th, a week before the testing.
Okay, October 6th. All right, let's talk about, if we could, qualifications and also compensation benefits.
Okay, so as far as qualifications go, high school diploma, valid Illinois driver's license. Obviously, you don't want anything in your background that's going to prohibit you from becoming a police officer. Anything that the state would see, and they do have a list of offenses. If you go to the Illinois Training Standards Board website, there's a list of offenses there that would. It's under the decertification part of the website, but if they'll decertify you for something like that, they won't certify you if you have something like that in your background. And those are for convictions and that type of thing. So, we're seeing people more that, have some type of offense in their background. And that's where, it comes in with us. We have to do a good background check and make sure that person is a viable candidate, a good candidate to be on our list. And then obviously they have to pass a written and a physical agility test.
What's the written test about?
The written test is, it's not really law enforcement related.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a general knowledge test, and it measures your reading comprehension, your memory, and your ability to solve, it'll give you a scenario, and then it'll ask you to kind of solve that scenario. And it's a multiple choice test. I think consists of several hundred questions.
Okay.
And that's it. It's passable. I mean, it's not a it's not a test that is extremely hard by any means, but it just gives us. It's made by a company that this is what they've done for years, and they've established new candidates that are coming into the field of law enforcement. They've established that this bank of questions is what needs to be asked, and they need to be able to comprehend and problem solve and go through this test and be able to pass it.
Okay. And then the agility test.
Yes, the power test that consists of a 1.5 mile run, bench press, sit-ups, and there's a little portion of it called the sit and reach, where you sit on the floor with your knees flat on the ground, your legs straight out in front of you, and you have to reach so far past your toes, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's, again, October 14th is the testing. Applications are due by the 6th.
Yes.
And we see a great deal of police departments searching for candidates, even at a lateral level. What makes the Monmouth Police Department the place to be?
Well, Monmouth is a great community, and it's a smaller community, and I think, you come to Monmouth, and we have people like myself and other officers that were born and raised here. We chose to stay here for, various different reasons. But it's a community from somebody from the outside. I think it's a safe community, and it's a welcoming community. And I think if you come and visit Monmouth and see what Monmouth is all about, you'll want to come here and stay here.
Okay. And it seems like, Chief, we're getting more and more opportunities now to get back in the school district. So we're seeing our officers, not just for Alice training, but able to get out and talk to young people and inspire them again to want to be police officers.
And that's important, for the officers when they're out and they're talking to kids, and that you see so much on the TV, you hear so much. I don't think a lot of it is accurate, and law enforcement's kind of taken a beating over the last several years, and that's not what most of the law enforcement officers in this nation are. And we are people. We have kids. We're involved in the community. We're involved in activity. Our kids are involved in activities, in the community, and we're people too. We're not robots out there, just going through a day at a time. And that's one thing that the kids. Being in law enforcement, obviously, it's a profession, and it's a good profession to be in. And I mean, I've been in it 30 years now, so I would definitely recommend being in law enforcement to anyone young that's curious about it.
What's the biggest change you've seen in law enforcement in 30 years? You said 3 decades you've been doing this.
3 decades, yes. Probably the biggest change is what we've seen, recently in the last several years with the Safety Act.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the nice thing, too, about this month's City Council meeting is you got to do some awards.
Yes, we gave some awards away. Certificate accommodations or departmental accommodations to Sergeant Luke Johnson, Officer Steve Thompson, and Officer Bill Benson. And that was for an incident that they were assisting the county on. And Sergeant Jack Baskett from Warren County Sheriff's Department recommended them for an award. And we went through and vetted it, and they definitely deserved it. The officers did a really good job assisting the county and utilizing our spike strips to stop a car that the county and other counties were trying to stop, and they were able to get the car stopped via the stop sticks. And the individual that was driving the car was harming herself. She had a pair of scissors, I believe, and she was stabbing herself in the leg, and our officers were able to get her to stop doing that. They took her into custody, provided care for her until the ambulance got there, and those awards were well deserved for those individuals.
Yeah, it sounds like it, absolutely.
For sure.
And that's a situation that you have to de-escalate if someone's harming themselves. And
Yes.
and are they drug induced? Is something there that you don't know? Those are the hard parts of it.
Right, and I think what they didn't know at the time, and this happened after the fact, that individual was additionally charged with murder, I believe, in Fulton County.
Oh, wow.
Or Schuyler County. I can't remember which one it was, but I think that's why she was running
Sure.
this direction, and the other agencies were trying to get her stopped is because of that incident. So
That rather unfortunate.
Yes.
But thankful for our officers.
yes,
And congratulations on the accommodations. And thanks to our officers in general.
yeah.
People don't know what goes on behind the scenes. That's for sure.
Right. Everything, not everything that we do is I guess, excitement like that where things are ramped up. Back when I first started, they said that 98% of your job was going to be boredom and 2% was going to be, everything's going to be ramped up. So
Drugs have changed that, though, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think the percentages have changed a little bit, but it is a dangerous profession. I mean, law enforcement officers are hurt or killed, on a daily basis here in the United States. And it doesn't matter where it's at. It could be in a big city, small community, rural area. And we still deal with the same things in our small rural area as the larger cities do in the metro areas.
Sure. And then you guys also assisted in that rather tragic moment just outside of Monmouth here on the 3467 interchange there.
Yes.
With the semi-truck that unfortunately caused a major power outage, but more importantly, there was life safety involved.
Yes, I believe there was a medical event with the driver of the vehicle, which is unfortunate. It did cause a major power outage around the city. All the stoplights at the major intersections stopped working, so we had to get people out to the intersections to kind of monitor to make sure that people were going through the intersection safely. Fortunately, it was in the daytime. The people driving could see that there were stoplights there, but they weren't working, so they fall back to, yielding at the intersection, slowing down, and that, which is a major thing at 11th and 34, 6th and 34, and then North Main and the North Junction there. Those are bad intersections to begin with, and when the lights aren't working, it gets pretty dangerous.
Yes, that's a great point. Here we were thinking about power being out, but didn't even think about those stoplights where we've had tragic deaths occur, fatalities occur.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
With the lights working.
With the lights working, yes.
So, okay.
Yep.
It just goes to show, pay attention when driving, put that cell phone down.
You always have to, and on the highway, people are making long trips or they're just out, going somewhere. You kind of get tunnel vision, you just you're in the moment there, and you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you. And it's like I've said many times before, you have to be cognizant of what is going on around you, and that defensive driving, and that's part of it, is paying attention to, are there stoplights, are there some other type of traffic control devices. You run into those the construction areas on the highway, and you just have to be aware of what's going on. Okay.
All right. Thank you for all of the information. Anything else you want people to know?
No, I just wanted to touch on, Detective Wostocki.
Yes.
You had the interview with Principal Ewing and and Detective Wostocki the other day. I did attend his training down at WIU back in the springtime. And that's the training's called Preventing Targeted Violence Through Leakage and Cyber Investigations. And the leakage aspect of it is information about the intentions of what someone's going to do. Normally, they're putting that on social media, and so the information is out there in a lot of these instances where they've put the information out there. It's on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media platform they're on. Unfortunately, people don't pick up on it or act on that information when they see it. And the basis of the class was to give police and school administrators the tools they need to investigate this type of an incident where you have someone that is, say, making a threat via social media. We do have the tools and the ability to identify who that person is, where they're at, and where it's coming from in rather quick fashion, using the tools that Detective Wistocki trained everybody on.
Okay, good. Glad this gentleman's coming, and you got a gnat that keeps flying around.
I do.
You think it's fall.
Hopefully I didn't bring it in from outside.
Yeah, that's coming up in October, the training, so we will talk more about that as we get closer.
Sure.
Josh Kramer also talked about the training he took this summer with Detective Wistocki, so appreciate that you basically were able to see this and felt like it was a good idea to bring here.
Well, and the investigators had this information. They had the tools that Detective Wistocki, put out there. I don't know if they had specifically gone to any training that he had put on, but Investigator Kramer and Lieutenant Blackman did go to another session of the class at the WIU campus in the Quad Cities, and it adds more tools to our toolbox and to their toolbox. So.
Okay. Thank you very much for the information, and have a good rest of the week.
You
Stay
too.
safe, and thank your officers for us.
Will do. Thank you.
Monmouth Police Chief Joe Switzer with us on 1330 WRAM.